Welcome again to another episode of Grudge Match, the show where comic characters cross party lines and universes to engage in a mano-a-mano showdown to determine the best of the best of the best. In today's episode, it's two top-tier vigilantes who are both known to reduce criminals to weeping masses with their very presence. It's the Dark Knight of DC, Batman, against Marvel's Crescent Crusader, Moon Knight. Now, Batman is the man who, of course, needs no introduction. Bruce Wayne, the Dark Knight, the man known as Batman, was created in 1939, and after the death of his parents when he was very young, decided to dedicate his life to making sure no one should ever have to undergo the kind of pain and suffering that he did. So he traveled the entire world, training his body and mind to become the most skilled and powerful crime fighter he could possibly make himself into. And he uses a wide array of both abilities and tactics in order to complete his life's mission of rooting out evil wherever he can find it. Of course, he's a master of virtually every type of unarmed combat system on the entire planet, as well as he's a master escape artist to get himself out of any situations he finds himself in. He's a polymath genius. He's extremely knowledgeable about things such as engineering, biochemistry, all types of sciences and technologies. He's just a genius in virtually every particular field one could dedicate themselves to. He's also really good at interrogation techniques. He's a master detective. All top-notch abilities designed to make him the best vigilante and crime fighter he can possibly be. Moon Knight, also known as Mark Spector, was created in 1975. His backstory is he was in the armed forces, and eventually he became a mercenary for hire, and had a very successful business doing that, allowing him to amass a very large personal fortune. During one of his jobs, he was severely injured and left for dead at the foot of an Egyptian statue of the Egyptian god of vengeance and punishment known as Khonshu. Just before Mark Spector died, he had an encounter with the spirit of Khonshu, who empowered him to become Khonshu's agent on Earth and would become his avatar of vengeance and punishment. So he woke up with his wounds healed and went back to America and New York and donned the persona of Moon Knight, finding crime wherever he could find it and meting out his own brand of justice against it. Now, both of these characters have a lot of skills and abilities in common that they use when going out and fighting crime. They both have master-level detective skills. They both primarily use intimidation as a tactic towards frightening their criminal adversaries. Batman is notable for often saying the phrase that criminals are a superstitious and cowardly lot, and uses darkness and shadow to help him cause fear and intimidation in his criminal adversaries. Moon Knight often likes to remark that the reason he wears a completely white suit is because he wants his enemies to see him approaching in the dark so that they can become even more fearful about his presence. So both usually use intimidation to get information out of the criminals they fight and apprehend. They both have peak human physical conditioning in terms of strength, speed, agility, and dexterity, both skilled in both thrown and hand-to-hand weapons. Batman notable for using the batarang with very good precision. Moon Knight has something similar. He uses crescent-shaped moon stars that he throws to great precision as well. And they are both masters of hand-to-hand combat as well as handheld weapons, such as billy clubs, tonfas, and weapons of that nature. And both are vastly wealthy. They are both among the richest people of their respective universes, which allows them to use that wealth and money to create the gadgets, gizmos, and weapons that they often use in their crime-fighting personas. But both of these characters, despite all of their similarities, have some critical differences that might give either one of them a bit of an edge if they were to ever go head-to-head. In Batman's corner, Batman is the superior fighter between these two. Batman is noted for being the best, absolute best hand-to-hand combatant in the entire DC universe, and he is noteworthy for having mastered virtually every fighting style on the planet. Moon Knight has very good proficiency in hand-to-hand combat, and he started off his career as a prize fighter, actually, so he's very capable in boxing, jiu-jitsu, and kung fu and various other types of Eastern hand-to-hand fighting styles, but Batman has mastered all of those and vastly more. Comes right down to it, Batman is the better hand-to-hand combatant between the two. Batman also is the smarter of these two opponents. As stated, he has a genius-level intellect and very high proficiency in all fields of study. Moon Knight does not excel in areas of study such as sciences, technologies, biochemistry, things of that nature. He is very capable in the field, as he was a mercenary for hire, which makes him a very capable agent in things like going up against opponents, but he does not have the genius-level capability to figure out things of a more scientific nature. And by that same token, he is not quite as good of a strategist as Batman is when it comes to formulating battle strategies. Moon Knight is more of a reactionary opponent. He takes what his opponent is going to do and then just rolls with it, and off the top of his head formulates a battle strategy in the spur of the moment. So those are the things that Batman has going for him, but Moon Knight has some advantages in his own corner. For one, he actually has a little bit of superhuman abilities. Not only did Khonshu, the Egyptian god, bring him back to life from the brink of death, but he also bestowed upon him a slight measure of superhuman strength and durability. Now, this has gone up and down with the character throughout the years. Sometimes he has it, sometimes he doesn't, but occasionally he has a superhuman strength level that allows him to lift up to 2 tons, which is not very high of a superhuman level strength, but it is far more than a normal human would be able to lift. So that gives him a bit of a superhuman strength edge over Batman. In addition to that, he has a general immunity to pain. Mark Spector has multiple personality disorder and varying other mental conditions, which make him unstable, and it's one of the reasons he's not good at formulating strategies. But because of that psychosis, he has a general immunity to pain. There have been times he's had both of his legs broken, and through sheer effort of will has managed to keep fighting through the pain because his brain doesn't even register it after a time. And another thing Moon Knight has going for him is he probably has better weaponry between these two opponents. He has taken the best weaponry of some of the best characters of the Marvel Universe. He has a Captain America energy shield. He has Wolverine's claws built into the gauntlets of his suit. He has Spider-Man web shooters as well. He has Daredevil's Billy Club, or something very much like it. In addition, he has no problem in using guns and the type of weaponry that Batman has more or less sworn off using in his crime-fighting career. So, between the two of them, Moon Knight probably has better access to more high-grade weaponry than Batman would be willing to use. So both characters have a couple advantages in their corner. But having examined the backstories and the abilities of these characters, it's time now to determine a winner. That winner is Batman. The Dark Knight of Gotham City is going to come away victorious in this grudge match because of the combination of being a superior tactician and a superior physical fighter. Batman has often fought opponents who were vastly physically more powerful than him and always walks away victorious. Not because he's stronger, but because he's a better thinker. He can think on his feet and formulate battle strategies that overcome any opponent, regardless of how strong and how powerful they may be. So while Moon Knight might have an edge in strength over Batman, Batman's intelligence and ability to fight higher-powered opponents is going to come out victorious in this grudge match. So message me down below with any comments about this grudge match or suggestions for upcoming episodes, and we'll see you next time on the next edition of Grudge Match.